Hey, hello. So, a little bit of a different angle today. This is my series where I sum up everything I've done, basically, in the month. This is not very flattering, is it? It's okay. You don't always need to be flattering. Okay. Where I sum up what I've done in the month, because at the beginning of this year, I suffered the worst grief of my life, and I wanted to end it, and I didn't, clearly. Instead, I took out a fat credit card and I booked my bucket list and different events for the year. And some of these things I've kept doing, some of these things are just like once in a lifetime things. And it's just been such a cool, nice check-in to see like how I've progressed as a person, what actually is meaningful for me. And if I'm quite honest, my life has completely changed, like so much. Yeah, so we have not that many things this time around. We only have a little page full. I basically have a little countdown app. Everything's colour coded, it's all great. Like, first things first, I do need to open this monster because I am addicted to energy drinks. Not necessarily addicted, probably have like one every week and a half. I would say 1 week, but sometimes that's not the case. And I would say every 2 weeks, but it's probably more often than that. I was meant to take a road trip today. At the last minute we rearranged it. So this was meant to be my road trip monster. But yeah. That hits the spot. So, this is August sum up, I think. Oh, but rest assured, although this room isn't decorated, because this is a shared room in the house, my rooms are decorated for Halloween, okay? Because I remember saying in my last sum up, I was like, look, I wish I decorated Halloween already, but I haven't. But in my August sum up, which is filmed in September, I better have decorated. And rest assured I have. I actually have my, I've got some Halloween socks on at the moment. No, this is cool. Rest assured. But yeah, on the 1st of August, I met my girl Ellie for some cocktails. We've been branching out. She was my brunch friend, but the last time I saw her before this, we went and got a Nando's and had coffee. And this time we had cocktails, so we're really branching out. She's just such a great, real good person to be around. I love being around her. It's so effortless, it's so fun. And we don't have like any other mutuals, I don't think. We just sort of met by chance one time. Actually, I saved her from a creepy man on the train, but you know, I'm going to try and be humble and not mention it every time I say her name. Pardon me. It's okay, girlies, it's natural. Especially after you've just had a monster. But yeah, so I met her for cocktails. It was great. She introduced me to Wetherspoons free for £15. And I got 3 vegan dishes, and I've had it again since because I just really did love it. Have I? Just had September. Oh, okay, that's the next video. But yeah, I had it again because I was like, it's so great. So yeah, thank God for Ellie. She teaches me so much. It's so funny. She's younger than me. I think most of my friends are younger than me, but they're like either the only child or the older sibling, and they basically parent me because they're like, Jasmine, you give off little sister syndrome. Like you're just too free and like emotionally unstable. Maybe it's not how she words it, but you know, that's the vibe. Can I like clip you on here? I'm not gonna. Okay. Oh my gosh. The day after, on the 2nd of August, me and Danny, this was his Valentine's present, but mainly I wanted to go, so I just booked it without telling him and then disguised it as a surprise present. But We did the Traitors live experience in Covent Garden, London, and it was so good. Danny was a traitor. He stayed to the end and he won. I was a faithful and I was banished at the first round table. So really we got the two ends of the experience, but I think it kind of worked out for the best. I did kind of throw a little bit of Paddy. I almost cried when I got banished. They basically said I was too confident. Whatever. I got a shield. I did do a task and I got a shield from it. And then because everyone suspected me, I got given another shield. So I survived the first killing. But also if Danny was a traitor and he killed me, I don't think I would ever forgive him. I'm so petty like that. One time we played Uno with two of his friends and he basically just like made me lose, and I kid you not, I was off with him the whole night. I didn't talk to him. So yeah, I get a little bit petty with things like that. But yeah, it was still so great. I literally thought, I mean, to be fair, I got the shield and stuff, so it was fine. Like, got this crazy, amazing set. Even the corridors down to the rooms are like just decked out and they're so cool. But basically, when you get banished or killed, you go into a room that's like decorated, like how the like lounges in the actual Traitors Castle in Scotland. And you basically just sit there with like your group, because there's like so many different like games going on at the same time. I think maybe like Fox or something, like cool things. And yeah, you just sit there with them and you get to like help or hinder them. Like there's little tasks you can do in the room as well. And you basically just watch them on the screen, and yeah, it was just so cool. Yeah. And then like you'll go to like a bar bit afterwards, and like everyone like wanted pictures of their groups, and it's honestly like such a great bonding experience. Like I always take the mick out of people on Traitors that cry at the round table, but oh my gosh, that would so be me. And you know the ones that are like, I love you so much, but I have to like, you're too suspicious, I have to vote for you. I'm like, I fucking love them, but that would so be me. Like I love these people after spending like 2 hours with them. So if I was living with them, yeah, I would definitely be the one crying and like telling everyone that I love them. But yeah, that was a really great experience. We didn't get any traitors at all as faithful. Well, I'm saying we, because they didn't keep me on their team. So, but the traitors won fully. But my dad was on their team, so I was happy with that. Oh my gosh, this feels like a lifetime ago. That's so crazy. On the 5th of August, I did a pet grooming taster day for dog grooming. Because I think that was what I just wanted to go into, and I really didn't like it. I am quite a confident person. I walk into the room and I can make friends with everyone. That's kind of what I'm like. But yeah, I walked into this place, I wasn't asked my name or anything, I was just told to sit down. I actually felt like it was the first day of school and I wanted to cry. If that wasn't enough, I got given this dog to wash, which was like fine, like throwing me in the deep end. Like I'm more of a theory girl, but you know, this is obviously a more hands-on practical role, so you know, I need to learn, throw me in the deep end. So I washed 2 dogs. The owner, I didn't like her. She was calling the dog stupid for barking, and that if he hit himself because he was like lashing out, she was like, well, it's your own fault and stuff like that. And I was like, that's not how I talk to animals. I'm not. I watched her dog as well. Her dog is a small spaniel. It's an American spaniel, so it's small. It's like a small medium dog, like smaller than the other spaniels I've met. It's like a we bath them in like a height, right? She picked her dog up, literally moved her like out of the bath, still from like chest height, and just dropped her. Yeah, and also I didn't say anything, and I was talking to my therapist about it because I was like, I can't believe I was in that situation. She was treating animals like this and I didn't say anything. Yeah, and I just felt like the dogs there just had an awful time. They were like shaking and they just looked so sad. She was like, oh, she's used to it. And I'm like, okay, I don't had to be used to this. Like, you can make this a loving experience, a happy, a calm experience for her. Like, why? So yeah, I chose to not pursue that, but there is updates on that lower down. But yeah, that was really jarring for me. I thought, you know, I'll stick it out. It's a 35-day course, so I can do that. But yeah, it really did not sit right with me that that's how that lady acted. But it's okay because she didn't get any more of my money. Pardon me. The day after, the day after, I had my first ever in private therapy session. I've had therapy before for the NHS when I was younger, like CBT, anger management. I had pseudodynamic therapy from a charity when I was really young. But this was my first private therapy session because obviously I had a mental breakdown when my cat died at the beginning of this year. And it has been life-changing. I've been seeing her weekly and she is so good. It's so nice to, like, I don't know if you've ever had NHS therapy, but they literally at the start of every appointment, they're like, in the past 2 weeks, how many times have you wanted to hurt yourself? In the past 2 weeks, how many times have you wanted to not be here? In the past 2 weeks, how many times do you feel like you've let your family down? I'm like, it's just jarring. Like, I always answer just in how I'm feeling in the moment. I never, like, I don't know in the last 2 weeks, like, I'm unstable. Why are you asking me that? But yeah, to not be asked that at the beginning of a session, and just the idea of, like, not, like, I don't have to be like so unwell all the time. Like last week's session, I didn't actually have much to talk about and it was quite lighthearted. I did just have another grief, so I think she was treading a little bit more carefully to not push me too much. But yeah, it's almost like I felt like if I was on the NHS therapy, if I was having a bit of a better day, or I feel like the more you get to know people, you put on more of a front, you're less open. At least that's what I'm like. So yeah, I don't have to pretend to be bad or like over it. Like I can just be how I am, and that's enough because I do need help. Like whatever. Yeah, I think everyone should do therapy as well. Like, why not? That same day, I went to a house to pet sit, and I love these cats so much. There is a house of 8 cats in this beautiful house. Like, if I was going to decorate a house, it's how I decorate it. She doesn't own a TV anymore, so it's like, oh, that's like a bit of me. Like, that's good for me. Also, I can still like watch Netflix on my phone if I really want to. But yeah, I did so much breeding, so much tarot, so much just time with cats. You know, some of them are old, some of them need medication. One of them's disabled, she doesn't have any back legs, so there's like I have to massage her bladder and clean her up and put a nappy on her. And I just love them. I just love them all so much. So yeah, I was cat sitting them, and yeah, it's just so fulfilling, so fulfilling. As soon as I finished cat sitting them, on the 11th, I was dog sitting, just for the day, but I was dog sitting my dad's dog Buddy, who I absolutely adore and love. At this point it was still quite hot, so we just like chilled with the aircon we just chilled inside with the aircon on all day. So great. So then I had another therapy session. I don't remember what I spoke about there. I think I spoke about my brother a lot, and like we went into childhood stuff, which was good. And basically how like my brother is like my only kind of like parental figure that's never let me down or disappointed me, or it was betrayed. Like I felt betrayed by my parents, which was really interesting. But my brother was like, yeah, he's like my main protector, and like I can trust him to sort things out if things go a bit south. Yeah, that was a bit personal. Sorry, the angle of this thing. This is so yummy. I moved you up a little bit so I don't have to, like, this is not, what's this? It just makes me look, okay, whatever, stopping. Okay. So on the 16th of August, I went to France with my boyfriend. I drove. I went on the ferry with my car and then drove to Pierrefonds, which is about 2 hours away from Calais. So where we drove off the ferry. And it was great, apart from my phone didn't have internet, so I had to use his phone. So we like drove off the little ferry, and then we're like, shit, there's nowhere to stop. We just keep driving, we're straight on the motorway. So we had to just like find somewhere to pull over in this little town. Put his phone on. And yeah, I drove on the other side of the road, and it was fine. I think my first like tiny roundabout was usually like in a close, like a residential. I went back to the left, and then this car was coming, and I was like, oh yeah. But otherwise, it's like so easy. Like I did mostly motorway driving, but it's so easy to just stay on the right. And even when I'm like back now, over a month driving in the UK, it's like, oh, it doesn't feel right. Like I feel like I should drive on the right. And before I went, my tattoo artist actually said that like it feels like it makes more sense driving on the other side. So I did that. So that was cool. I can like tick that off of my like, or just like add it to my resume. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've driven on the other side of the road for like 2 hours. So that was great. We actually went the day after to Chateau des Pierrefonds, which is the set castle for the BBC show Merlin. Now, sometimes you might think, wow, Jazz, like, how did you know Danny was the one? Well, on our first date, I was a cold, like, serial dating bitch, okay? And then this man went to me, if you've watched the BBC show Merlin, my whole, like, dating exterior just, like, cracked and crumbled, and I was like, I think I love you. And, like, afterwards, I was saying to my dad, I was like, I went out with this guy, he knows BBC Merlin, like, now I'm older, I feel like people talk about it more, but, like, when I was a kid, like, I was obsessed with that show. I felt like no one watched it, when in reality probably every family in the UK watched it on Saturday night. But yeah, me and my dad loved it. It's shaped so much of my personality. It got me into druids, got me into magic, got me into history, which is pretty much my whole personality. So yeah, and Danny loves it as well. You know, that was something from our first date that was just like, it made me like a softer version, and he got to know me as like me, because I don't know, he mentioned Merlin, and then my whole cool exterior broke. So yeah, we dressed up as the characters, but it was really sweet because we weren't cosplaying, but we were just being like an ode to the characters. So he had like he was blonde at the time, but he had a vest in like a reddy shade that Arthur wears. And then he just wore his cargos and trainers. I took a slightly different spin on not cosplay, but doing an ode to one of the characters. I always thought I would do Merlin, but I recently got this wig that was like long and dark and like bouncy, and I was like, I'm gonna be Morgana. And I got this like a dress that like I honestly have seen like multiple people wear since. But it's kind of like medievally, but it's just like a summer dress, basically, like a summer maxi dress. But that paired with a wig, that was my ode to Morgana, right? Not cosplay, but compared to what Danny's ode to Arthur was, it was basically cosplay. But I felt amazing. Like, I felt so great. It was such an amazing experience. We played, and like on our first holiday, me and Danny went to Wales, and we played in a castle there. We were playing Merlin, like just like naturally, like we were just like in this little like stone corridor, and there was no one else around, and we were just like, oh, imagine having like fire torches, and then we just got into character and started playing Merlin as though the castle was under siege. So obviously, if we're at actual like the set basically of Merlin and Camelot, we're gonna play. And yeah, that's what we did, and it was so much fun. It was just, and now we're watching it again, and we're like, oh, that's there, and yeah, it's just so, we love it, and we had the best time. And Pierrefonds is pretty much a little village, but it's pretty much just taken up by the castle. So our Airbnb was literally just like looked out on it. So like every morning, like any moment we was in the Airbnb, I was just looking out the window like, wow. So yeah, that was so great. I got like loads of content, all on my TikTok and probably on my YouTube shorts too. But yeah, and then we still had a couple of days left in France, and we were like, what should we do? And then I was like, well, I've got my car. We're an hour away from Paris. Like, we've done the chateau. Like, do you want to just go to Paris? And obviously Danny was like, yeah. So I've been to Paris before with family and friends, and he's been with an ex-partner. So obviously I had to one up the ex. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I did anyways. But so yeah, I have this bitterness in me. But yeah, no, it was so lovely for me to like be in Paris with like just someone I love, like someone I love romantically. Obviously I've been with people I loved before. And yeah, like he never really saw the sights before. He kind of just went to Disneyland and the Eiffel Tower. So I like showed him around. I think the only place we didn't go was Sacré-Cœur. That we went to Notre Dame, we went to the Louvre, we went to like, you know, like the palace, the like glass palace, we went there. I feel like there was somewhere else we went. Oh, Arc de Triomphe there. But yeah, I was like researching and stuff to drive in Paris, and everyone was like, don't. Someone actually on Reddit said that they would rather drive a lorry of porcelain through like the motor, or I don't know, than driving central Paris. Well, I'm calling bullshit on that because I drove from central Paris. I mean, to be fair, I just came off the motorway into central Paris. Like, our car park was pretty much just down from the Arc. Arc de Triomphe. I don't know if people shorten it to the Arc. And yeah, it's just an underground car park, and like it was fine. Like getting out and back onto the motorway was fine. Like, you know, I don't know if I'm just a confident driver, but like, yeah, it was absolutely fine. And yeah, so easy to like navigate and like get around and stuff. But yeah, that was really lovely, and we like stayed there for like longer than we intended to, and we're just like in Paris in the dark together, and it was so lovely. My feet, I decided to wear heels. I don't know why. I decided to wear heels. But thankfully I had my car and I put trainers in my car, so halfway through the day, for the evening, I put my trainers on, and I was in such a better mood. And then we got food and desserts and everything, so that was great. Oh, also, okay, so I had beignets at the Eiffel Tower. I had ratatouille in Pierrefonds and crepe in Pierrefonds, and that was like my French dishes. I'm pretty sure beignets are French, right? Anyways, I came back to England and had therapy again. And this time we spoke about someone in my life. Basically spoke about the past 5 years and how a lot of people in my life park things, don't talk about things. And that's fine for them, but it doesn't work for me. So much has happened, like in the family and just in my life in the past 5 years, that has really affected me. And where the family don't talk about it, don't acknowledge it, I'm kind of just trying to process all these emotions, but feeling so like invalidated because like no one talks about anything that happened. So it's like, well, nothing happened. Why do I feel crazy? So having that validation, literally just from my therapist, to be like, yeah, that's a lot, like everything out of your control, so much that, you know, just warped my way of thinking the world was, like people's characters drastically changing, or like learning things about them which just are disgusting and I would not tolerate in my life. And then also we explored a lot of my feelings in regards to that. Basically someone in my life has done something disgusting and they're not in my life anymore. But to admit to my therapist that I missed them was a big thing. And she was like, could you look past that? And I was like, no. She was like, well, the justice system has put their things in place, So what for yourself, if you miss them, like maybe you should try and nurture that relationship. But yeah, that was really interesting for her to say that. But yeah, no, I don't know. I have like a crazy sense of justice. And yeah, we worked through that a lot in my therapy, that like the only reason I'm still here is because I need to make a difference in the world, and if I'm accepting people and still loving people that have done unspeakable things, then no. And also then that's me like almost acting as though it's okay because I miss them and I love them. And it's like, no, like, it's not about me. Like, if I'm gonna make a difference, I need to put my selfishness aside, you know? Whatever. But yeah, that was interesting. But that day, I had another cat sitting gig from my lovely little Luna. She is a family I've worked for the past 3 years. I used to look after their kids. I used to, water their plants, clean their house. But yeah, now I'm just sort of like, just a cat sitter. You know, I stripped back my duties, but yeah, now I'm just, I love her. She's so lovely, and she's I think she was 2 when I met her. She's probably about 5-ish now. She's oh, I love her. She's so gorgeous. It was so hard to leave her on the last day. She was looking at me through the glass door, and I was like, I have to go. And she was but yeah, her family came back, and it's all fine. Yeah, and I love that. And then on the 26th of August, I went to a place called Absolutely Animals, and I started a cat grooming course with them. Now, this was meant to be my induction day. Silly old me. I drove all the way down there, which is actually wasn't even that far. It's in like a completely different area, but it doesn't take long to get there. And I got there and they were like, oh, or to be fair, I got there, opened my phone, saw there was an email that the induction host wasn't well and the induction was cancelled for that day. But I was like, I need a wig. So actually I don't need a wig. I need a number 2, if I'm being completely honest. There's no point me lying, like everyone does it, okay. So I went in there, we like rebooked my induction, and I was like, I need to use the toilet, and they were like, yes, fine. So I walked through the dog grooming session that was happening, like the teaching session, and compared that to the taster I had with the other place with a lady who like dropped her dog and was just saying horrible things. They are incredible. Like, it was a light, nice room. There was a dog barking and was scared, and then like the teacher and like the trainee groomer were just like holding him and stroking him and like being like, it's okay, you're doing so good, you good boy. And then that's how they handled him being scared. Whereas the other place handled him, instead of being scared, by shouting at him, which then obviously makes him more scared, so he starts jumping and then hurting himself, or not stopping him from hurting himself. Whereas this place was just so much nicer. So yes, love Absolutely Animals. And I guess it was good to sort of get acquainted and like find parking and everything. But since then, have I done my induction? That's in September. Okay, well, I found a lovely place to do my cat grooming. So I've paid for my cat grooming, and yeah, I'm gonna be a cat groomer, which I feel much more confident with cats than dogs. I would obviously love to do dogs at first, but I can start cat grooming mobile because most of them don't need wet baths. You can dry bath a cat. So yeah, exciting. And I love cats so much, and there's such a ever more increased demand for cat grooming, especially my induction as well. There was literally a lady there who has a dog grooming parlour, but she keeps getting asked to do cats as well, so she's now starting to train to do cats. And also for my cats, the closest person that we found to do cats is in like a whole other county, and she's not taking on any more new clients. So yeah, I think there's a nice demand for me there, but yeah, I'm excited about it. And then I had therapy again the day after, which I think I was speaking about grief a lot. And then my therapist, it was helpful, but it was the first, like, she was like, Jasmine, they're dead. And I was like, bitch, what? Whereas everyone else is like, they're still with you, like blah, blah, blah. And she was like, Jasmine, they're not coming back. And I was like, I felt like I needed to hear it. Like, she's so clever and she knows, she pushes me. But and she kept sort of saying it, and I was like, okay, like, they're not coming back. Like, I guess you think, what, for me, I think when I'm getting help for something, it's going to help me through, it's going to help me by making it better, right? So I go, and when I'm ready to talk about my grief, she's going to just bring the people back to me. But yeah, doesn't work like that. And she confirmed to me that they're dead and they're not coming back and everyone's going to die, and that's the way of life. And we spoke a lot about autumn and how beautiful I find the trees in autumn, and she was like, well, that they've died. So we were finding beauty in that, and yeah, just like life cycle. So that was really interesting. Yeah. Anyways, a couple of days after that, I had a silent disco. So me and my friend, for 2 years in a row now, have gone to the Natural History Museum silent disco in London. That was... It's like a perfect film for me and my friend. She's quite a bit younger than me. She's got a completely different style to me, completely different music taste. So if we're ever going to go out together and dance, it has to be a silent disco, basically. This year around, I feel like we actually had so much more time on similar channels compared to last year. But this year we also like got a hotel in Chelsea, and like we just felt like bougie bitches. Like, it was just so much fun. And we also got the Krispy Kreme sorting hat donuts for Harry Potter, and we both got Gryffindor. So that was like the start of our night. So we were both in a good mood because neither of us wanted to get... I didn't mind any. I think I did the quiz again on the train ride up, because I've always been a Gryffindor because I'm just like a justice fighter, like freedom fighter. And no one ever believed me because they don't... I guess they don't think I'm cool. I don't know. But they were always like, Jasmine, they always say I'm like Luna, so Ravenclaw. And I'm like, yeah, but I have like a Neville Longbottom personality. Not only that, I feel like I'm a little bit like Harry. Like, I'm not confrontational where it doesn't need to be, but like I will call you out on your shit if you're being mean or like whatever. But I'm just not selfish in it that, like, you know, if you bump into me on the street, like if it was really intentional, I'm gonna say something. But if I just like whatever, I just will think less of you. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna make a big deal out of that. But if you bump into like, or if you like hit a dog, like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Yeah, but anyways, so yeah, I did the quiz again when I was on the train up, because like, maybe I'm more Slytherin now. But no, my top one is Gryffindor, and then it was Ravenclaw, and then Slytherin, and then Hufflepuff. I don't know why. I don't want to be Hufflepuff. I just don't. It's not me. It's not. I've got more oomph than that. Like, I don't know. But anyways, I got Gryffindor. Am I not? So I was happy. Okay. What happened after that? What does that say? Okay, so the day after, I don't even want to talk about that one. That was rubbish. I've got one more good one, and then I'll briefly talk about a place which you shouldn't go to. So anyways, we went to Moroccan Corner the day after our silent disco at the Natural History Museum. Did I say that already? Yes, we went to Moroccan Corner, and you basically pay £12 in this cafe, make as much jewellery as you want, and then like obviously pay for any drinks or snacks you want. So you get an hour and a half. If you do go, use elastic. Just use elastic for everything. Okay, I don't know if we should be able to see it. But yeah, I made this phone charm. When they recommend you choose thread, so like you can see there's like red thread, right? Thread phrase. So it's so hard to get all the little things through. It takes a while. So I did that in like an hour and 15 minutes. And then I had 15 minutes left, and I was like, I'm just gonna make a quick necklace. So I just got loads of like beads together and used elastic. And it literally, I made a whole necklace, like double the size of that phone charm in 15 minutes. If I had used elastic for the whole thing, I could have made so many things. But whatever, I love my phone charm. I love that it's got red thread in it. Like, it is what it is. But also, yes, we went up to pay, and they have like a whole like Palestine sort of like gift section with like obviously some of the profit goes to help Palestine, but also just spreads awareness and everything. So I got me, my boyfriend and his sister these Palestine bracelets. And yeah, I just forget I wear it and like don't take it off, and then like it's just, I don't know, like I'm quite active on social media, and like especially like my tarot readings, like I'm using my hands a lot. So you know, like every little helps, I think. And even when I was at the hospital, I had an appointment and the lady was like, love your bracelet, like great job. She didn't say great job, she was like, oh, like I love your bracelet, like Free Palestine. And I was like, yeah, thank you, like Free Palestine. And then yeah, like this is something I just didn't think about, but like it just creates conversation and stuff. So yeah, I just feel like that's nice and important, and obviously it increased my respect to Moroccan Corner as well. Also the food was banging. So yeah, and then literally like there was a girls next to us who literally went there just for the food, and I was like, yeah, why wouldn't you come here just for the food, like duh. But anyway, so I'm glad the food was good there, because after that we went to, where did we go? I don't remember where it was. And back into like more central, and we went to a bottomless pasta. Now I went full Karen on this place afterwards. They emailed me asking me to give feedback, so I did. It's a separate charge for bubbles and pasta. We didn't know that, so we sat down. They poured us prosecco straight away. We don't drink, me and my friend. Like, if it's there, we're not drinkers. Like, we wasn't gonna drink, but they poured it, and I was like, oh, fine. She had a bit, and she didn't like it. She didn't have any. She just like a sip of hers. I think I had a glass, and then they kept filling it up, and I was like, oh, like, I don't know, like if I'm drinking, I want to know exactly how many glasses I've had and stuff, but they were like filling it up as like each sip I was taking. And so I think I had a bit of like a glass, and then they gave some orange juice and pasta. And I'm vegan, and like that, you know, like I always make allowances, whatever. But when I booked it, it seemed so positive and like so nice, because you had a profile each, and it was like preferences, allergies, everything. So they were so like, it felt like they were so aware of everything. I reminded them when I sat down. They were like, any allergies? I was like, no, but like I've chosen the vegan options. It was like, great. Didn't tell us anything that was on the menu. They were like, cool. Filled up bubbles. Didn't really explain how anything worked, which is like fine, you know, like I've been to a restaurant before, I'm not stupid. And they bring something out, and then I think they say that it's vegan. Yeah, they do say this one's vegan. So we shared this. It's quite a lot, like a big portion. We're like, holy shit, like how much are we gonna have? And then they bring something else out, one for her, one for me. But they said, I was like, is this one vegan? And they were like, no, it's vegetarian. And I was like, okay. And then they went, and I was like, well, I'm not going to eat this. And they came back, and I was like, oh no, it's vegan. I was like, okay, thanks. And that would have been fine, okay? But it just kept like... Anyways, they brought another one over, which was like covered in cheese. I was in the toilet at the time, and... you know, like the staff were like the other end, we were like near the door, the staff were like the other end, and I was like, I'm not going to be one of those like, is this vegan, like whatever, it's bottomless pasta, we paid like a set amount for this. My friend didn't like it, okay, it was too hot for her, it had chili in it. It seemed like right up my street. It was basically just like pasta, oil, cheese and chili, like but because it had cheese on it, and they've already given something non-vegan on the table to her, I wasn't gonna, you know, I wasn't gonna have it. So then they came over, and they were like, basically just really like, are you okay? And we were like, yeah. And they were like, should we stop the pasta coming? And we were like, oh no, like why? And he was like, well, it's going to waste, you're not eating this, do you not like it? And then my friend was like, oh, I'm just a bit full. And I was like, yeah, and I'm the vegan, like I'm not gonna eat this one. And he was like, oh, what ones have you had already? And we were like, oh, I don't know, like we wasn't told the names of it, so we were just trying to describe it. And he was like listing off all these names of pastas, and we were like, okay, like I don't know what these are, like they're not like written in front, I don't know, like if you're just saying things to me, I can't process it like that, I don't know. And there's no like menus anywhere, like there's nothing. I don't think I'm not fussy with food, like taste wise. I just want it to be, you know, no one tortured or killed for it. And then she was like, oh, are we allowed to take this one home then if like I'm a bit full? And he was like, yeah, okay. And then someone else came over and was like, are you not eating it? Like, I'm going to stop the pasta. Like, do you just want bubbles? And we were like, actually, we're not drinking. And he was like, right, so this isn't how it works. And we felt like the smallest people in the world. Luckily, I'm like over my eating disorder. I don't know if my friend has an eating disorder or anything like that. Like, that's her business that I'm not gonna talk about on here. But yeah. He said that to me a couple months ago, I would have been a puddle on the floor crying. Like, I don't know, I said it in my reviews, like, I've never been to a restaurant before and told that I'm doing the experience wrong. And if they're reverse the experience, fucking tell me them when you sit me down, or like at any point still. And it's like, okay, like, what? I don't know. And so we were then under the impression when he walked away, we didn't really understand what was going on. We just assumed we wasn't getting any more pasta, and we were like, okay, like, how do we pay? Like, what do we do? Like, do we just go? Like, are we getting charged for this pasta, or are we just getting charged for the couple bits we've had? Anyways, they keep bringing pasta out. So they bring out this tomato-y thing, which I'm like, well, this obviously looks vegan. It's just got like tomato in it. So like, I gobbled that up and I'm like, nom, 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 nom. And then there was another one which my friend didn't like, which I think that was, I don't know, it just like vegetable. So I think that was vegan too. And I had some of that, but like I was full as well, and I was like demolishing. But in mind, we shared one pasta, and they're like, it's like a plate of pasta, right? So like, you know, 2 of these would be a full portion for us. So we shared one pasta. We had one each. So then that's like a portion and a half, right? And then I had another portion of this tomato one, so that's 2.5 portions. And then a little bit more of this vegetable one. So basically I had like 3 portions of pasta. And then so we didn't eat all of it. So like we had like the one that wasn't vegan that she didn't like, that was pretty much full. And then another one which was like half full, and then they just came over again and they were just like, yeah, this is like not how you do it. Like, we just felt like so silly and stupid, and we just hated it there. And we were like, can we just have the bill? We get the bill and it's £75 each, service charge included. Now, we are angry criers, so we discussed together that we wasn't going to ask to take the service charge off, because we would probably stop crying if we did. And obviously that's just a dick move. Like, they are still doing their job really fucking awfully, made us feel awful. No, I'm not going to pay the service charge for that. Fuck that. I did, but whatever. Yeah, it's just an awful place. Basically, that was my whole story about that, ranting about that. Oh god, I went a proper rant about that, didn't I? Anyway, so the day after, I had a family barbecue, and that was nice. But yeah, so this month of August, I did a massive bucket list thing, going to see where Merlin was, going to Paris with my loved one, you know, drawing traitors, wow. A lot of things with my friends, creative things, which was lovely and so healing. You know, finding out about the free for 15 small plates of spoons, amazing. And then also trying a career, realising I fucking hated that lady, and then trying a slightly new career with a different business and really respecting them and loving that. So yeah, it's almost the end of September now. All of that feels like a lifetime ago. So much has changed and progressed and evolved. So I'm so excited to share all that with you. My September roundup. But if no one's told you lately, thank you so much. No? Oh yeah, thank you for watching. But if no one's told you lately, I love you. I'm proud of you. But I will see you in the next video. And thank you so much for supporting me with these. It's, I don't know, to reflect and everything, it just feels great. It's almost like journaling, but I can just say the things and I don't have to wait for my hand to write it and my hand hurt and then my mind be racing. But yeah, I'll see you when I next see you. Bye.